I'm going to tell you the real reason you're still stuck and how to actually change and quantum leap and literally step into a new reality of yourself. First of all, I want to explain why change is hard for us as humans, because it's not you, it's actually your brain. Your brain feels comfortable in the familiar because your brain likes to predict what's going to happen and what the outcome is going to be. It likes to know, basically. So when you're facing it with the unknown or change or not knowing what's going to be the end, it panics, it freezes up, it says, whoa, this is unknown territory to us. We don't know what's going to happen. So let's go back to where we know what's going to happen, where we can predict the outcome, when we know our habits, our routines, our outcomes of every single scenario. And that is what makes change hard. It's not you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's literally how our brain is wired, because that's how it kept us safe for thousands of years when there were predators, when there was uncertainty, when we needed to basically be safe. But now we are in the 21st century, so you can tell your brain, we are safe, chill out. All we need to do, we just need to change so we can upgrade and change our life. That's the real reason you haven't changed yet. Second reason you haven't changed yet is because you don't have any habits to anchor you into the new person that you're becoming or the new life that you want to develop. You have to do something daily, a new thing daily, for it to actually show up in your life and show up as change. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. You have to do something differently if you want something different to happen. You cannot just expect to magically create a new outcome if you keep doing the same thing every single day that you've been doing for the last 5 years. You're just going to get the same output because the input was the same. So when you start changing, when you have habits, especially a daily one, because change is in the daily habits. It's not a one-time thing if you want actual real change. So you have to come up with a habit to change of something that will actually get you to the result that you want. If you want, for example, to become healthier, maybe your daily habit that is a non-negotiable is to go out for a walk, even if it's 10 minutes. The easier that you make it, the more likely you will actually stick through with it. And then that is good, because the better that you can stick through with it, the larger the result outcome will be. So do something daily that will actually enable that change to take place. You have to do something different every day. So that's what's keeping you stuck. Now, I want to tell you on how to actually change, the fastest way to change, all the tricks, everything that I've learned from someone that has changed her reality multiple times, manifested multiple things, changed from being an insecure, depressed girl that was, hated her life as long as maybe 4 or 5 years ago, to now becoming the person that I am. What I have learned is, first and foremost, change is in your energy. Is you have to become the person that you want to become now. So you have to think like her, you have to feel like her, and you have to act like her. Those three things, it's breaking down into three things. First of all, what kind of thoughts? It's basically you have to get into the personality of who you dream to be and try to get into her mind now. So think of what you want, your end goal. This is a very important step, by the way. First step, get crystal clear on what it is you want, because if you don't know what you want, then how can you get it? You don't even know it. So first step, get really clear on what you want, the life that you want to live. Picture the day in her life, or the woman that you want to become, let's say 5 years from now. How does she look in your mind, okay? Now that you see what you want, now get into the version of you that is living that life right now. How would she think? How would she feel? How would she act? So the feelings, the thoughts that she would have, she would not have any limiting thoughts. The feelings, she would feel good, she would feel confidence, she would feel abundance. And then the actions, do what she would do now. So that's what aligned action is actually doing the steps to get you closer to your goal. Then you also have to, one of my favorite teachers is Neville Goddard, and his most famous quote that I love from him is, assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Live in the end state now. Basically, it is living in the law of assumption that you're going to get what you want. So you just live your day carrying that energy that everything is going to work out, So now I just have to live in the knowing that it's going to work out. So if it worked out, how would I actually behave? Would I actually get the extra item to pamper myself because I know that in that reality that I'm rich and wealthy, I do that because I'm capable. So I do that now because it's going to link up the energetic frequency. Everything is energy. Remember, you cannot operate from a feeling of lack of scarcity now because you're just going to attract more of it. You're basically a magnet and you will keep attracting the same vibration that you're radiating, the same frequency. So that is why it's important to also do energy work and raise your vibration so you can attract better circumstances, events, and people. When you're always happy, when you're always grateful, when you're always feeling abundant, you become that energy. You radiate that energy, and everything is an equal. So you're a magnet and you're just going to attract more of the same to you. Also, you have to change your thoughts. So this is what I was saying, get into her thoughts. Change your thoughts and you can change your life. You live in a mental program, which is your brain in your box, in your mind. The outside world is not real. The only thing that is real is your mind, your thoughts. Your mind is going to be projected onto the external world. That's why you hear them say you are a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whatever you believe to be true becomes your truth, becomes your life. See, this is also a very important factor, that the universe doesn't care what you believe. It only cares to prove you right. So it all again goes back to you and into your mind. So what do you really believe? And this is where inner work comes in. And this is where expanding your mindset and letting go of limiting beliefs is very important, because you create a life based on what you believe to be true. So, do you believe all men are terrible? Reality will only show you men that are terrible. Do you believe that life is hard and making money is hard? Reality will only show you a life that's true. Opposite spectrum. Do you believe that you're a lucky person and everything naturally works out for you? Guess what? Reality presents you with a life that is where that is also true. That's why you have those lucky girls that everything seems to just naturally always work out for them all the time. It's because they have that belief internally. No, we are all the same. No one is better than anyone. No one has superior talents. No one has something extra or special. It is all depending on their mindset, how they view the world, how they view themselves. And everything correlates and corresponds to that. That is why it's so important. You have to change your mindset. You have to believe that good things happen to you. You have to believe in your goal. You have to believe in the vision. You have to believe in the future. That is what also being delusional comes into play, because you have to live in the end state. Neville Goddard said, even if you don't see any evidence, it doesn't matter. You create your reality from your imagination. What you imagine over and over and over, and you have intense feelings attached to it, like you feel like you're in the moment with all the five senses, you end up creating that into your reality. You attract it. So that's why visualization is also important. You have to visualize what you want. So once you know what you want, you have to visualize it in details as many times as you can. Obsess over it, daydream over it, night and day. If you let it consume you and consume your mind and your thoughts, trust me, it will happen so fast, because you have just programmed your mind to just think of that over and over and over. No matter how big or unrealistic your dream is, it will come to pass. It will come to fruition. It will happen. You have all these stories of all these amazing people online, actors, singers, visionaries. They always said what I always knew and I always dreamed of accomplishing it, of seeing it, of doing it, and they do. Because again, you create reality from your mind. You are basically a projector. Whatever is happening in here is going to project and show up in your external. So it's all linked. Like, it's not some magical woo-woo, like nothing is out to get you. especially for those people that have a terrible outlook on life and everything is against you. And guess what? It's because you think like that. That happens. It's because you think like that. So it keeps happening. Try something, change your thinking, and see it won't happen anymore because you changed the internal wiring. You changed the program director, the script writer in here. That's the hardest part, is going against what you're familiar, what you've known your whole life. Again, remember, your brain likes the known. It likes the familiarity. It likes to predict the outcome. It likes to know. But you have to break this. You have to go into the unknown, and you have to change who you are. You have to change your mindset. You have to change your thinking, and then you will change your life. It's that simple, really, but things get overcomplicated. So again, I want to emphasize on visualizing what you want in the end state and seeing it in so much detail. Try to get all 5 senses in your daydream, in your vision. So how would you feel? How would you think? How would she act? Okay, and then you do the 5 senses. What do you smell? What do you see? What do you feel or touch? What do you taste? And what do you hear? Did I say all that right? Hear, see, smell, taste, feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so get all that, get really clear in your vision, and then remember to do the daily habit every day to get you closer to your goal, whatever it may be. Let it correspond to your goal, and then do it every day. That is how you change. Simple and easy. And the more aligned you are, the more obsessed you are, the more alignment you are, the faster it'll happen. The more extreme you are. You have to be extreme if you want it to happen. If you aren't, it'll happen. It's just going to take a little longer. But the more extreme you are, the faster it'll happen, because quantum leaping is all about alignment, energetic alignment in all aspects. Basically, knowing the reality that you want to tap into, and then lining up your person right now with your future self, or with your self that has what you want. Become her, intertwine with her, and then you'll pop into that reality. It's that easy, that simple. And just get over it. And I want to mention that when you're changing, you're going to change internally a lot. It's wonderful, it's great, but I just want to remind you that the 3D takes a little longer. It always has a lag. It takes a little bit longer for the 3D, for it to show up in the 3D. So I want you to just keep going, even though you feel like a lot has changed, you have changed, your internal has changed, but you're like, what the heck, nothing external is changing? Don't stop, keep going, because the external takes a little longer, but do not give up just because you don't see anything. It's literally under the ground. The seed is under the ground. It is still making its way up to the soil. It doesn't mean that it's not there. It's still there, but just wait, because it takes time for that first sprout to come out of the soil and for that first leaf to show up. But don't quit, because quitters never win and winners never quit. So don't quit. Keep going. Keep going. Keep believing. And I want to remind you that that success and getting your goals is 95% energy and 5% action. Just 5%. But the majority is how you feel, your energy. Do you feel secure? Do you feel calm? Do you feel abundant? Do you rest in the knowing that it's gonna happen, that it's your destiny? You are meant to get it. And you will. So it is 95% energy, 5% action. So if you're doing too much, if you're stressing yourself out, you need to take a step back. Because why are we even wanting to achieve our dream? Because it'll make us feel good, right? So if you're not feeling good on the way to your dream, you're doing something wrong. I'm talking from experience, because I'm trying to also get my dreams. And like a few days ago, I've just realized I was overworking myself. I was overstressing myself. And I'm like, hold on, I am not feeling good right now. And I'm creating all this stress and all this anxiety when what I want to do is create my dream life. And that's not how I want to feel. That's not how I'm going to feel in my dream life. So I need to reassess. We need to go back a little bit. because you want whatever you want because of the feeling that you're going to have once you get it. Know that. Whatever it is you want, your goal, it's actually the feeling that you're going to have when you have it. So if you want to be rich, it's because you want freedom, you want abundance, you want to have stability, financial stability. If you want to be healthy, it's because you want the confidence associated with that health, or you want the healthy body of knowing that you are healthy and that you're not sick. So everything that you want, what you really want is actually the feeling that you're gonna have once you have that thing. So if you can have that feeling right now, that's how you change everything. And that is how you tap into that reality. And that's how you make it manifest faster. And that is how you actually change. So live in the state of your assumption. Live in the end now, basically, as Neville Goddard said, one of my favorite. So whatever it is that you want, that feeling associated with it, feel it now. Work on feeling it now, every day, all day, and you will collapse the timeline. If we haven't met yet, my name is Yasmin. I am the founder of Queen Power Academy. I'm here to remind you how powerful you are, let you be sovereign in yourself, get you from lost to self-led, be the queen in your own life, and take ownership of your life and do whatever you want to do because you can. And this is your life. If you are returning, I'm so happy to see you. Welcome back. And if you need help with changing, I have developed a 7-day reset workbook that takes you through this process to make changing as easy as possible, because I go through routines, habits, structures to make this possible for you, make this easier for you. I even included a few extra pages at the end to make it continuous after the 7 days. It's great for the value that I have it on. I'm probably going to raise the price up in a few days. And if you need more guidance, I have a identity upgrade course, a 4-week program where I actually hold your hand throughout the entire process of change from start to finish, from the inside out. Life-changing. It's the same techniques that I've used and I've worked with to change me, basically. So it works because I changed myself. And you'll find all of that down below on my Stan store. If this resonated with you, if you like the vibe, subscribe. We're growing. I'm growing my community, my family. So I'd love to have you around, love to help us become the best version of ourselves. And like this video if you liked it. Comment your thoughts, whatever you feel relevant. Even if you have a joke, I'd like to hear some jokes too. But yeah, I thank you so much for your presence, and I wish you the best, and I hope for you the best. And I'll see you soon.